The buy now, pay later trap. Explain.
Is paying for so addictive.
They literally once financed a bottle of body wash.
You know what? I'm gonna afterpay this. It's gonna make me feel less guilty to pay it in 4 installments of $81 or whatever.
That's like having a black American Express to me. I can use it anywhere, anytime I get ready.
I'm using Klarna to pay for these Chris Brown tickets.
Look at this chart right here. This shows the total non-housing consumer debt in America over the last 10 years.
Okay. No, I understand what this means. Yo, chat, y'all understand what this one means? No, so basically what I'm looking at here, it's the side of a volcano. So basically the volcano eventually gets to the peak and then there's like...
In 2024, Americans collectively owe more than $5 trillion, which is enough to pay for every NFL, NBA, and MLB team 10 times over. And to make matters worse, we are constantly surrounded by psychological tricks and hidden fees to drive us further and further into debt. The worst of these tricks, the buy now, pay later programs that have been designed to take advantage of young adults.
So when you buy a $100 pair of shoes and you only have to pay $25 that day, and then the pair
Oh, so you commit to the payment, but then you realize later, oh, I don't have enough money.
apartment 3 days later, the shoes are $25. Why do I care if in 2 months I have to pay another $25? I don't know me 2 months from now. She can deal with that.
Buy now, pay later is a short-term financing option that is
Yeah, that's like when you're like, I'll leave my problems for tomorrow. It's like when you have like 8 assignments due the next day and you're like, that's tomorrow's problem. Yo, tomorrow's problem's gonna be really big if you don't work on it today, bro.
by companies like Affirm, Klarna, or Afterpay. You'll typically see these options pop up on e-commerce stores, offering you the ability to buy what you want today while deferring your payment over a certain number of installments. So if you're looking to buy a new suitcase for a trip you have coming up and it's gonna cost you $300, instead of paying that all today, you could buy the suitcase today and then split the $300 across 4 equal interest-free payments. And you might think,
Oh my gosh. This is kind of, you know when you pay like monthly for your phone, it's like that, but just with like everything, which doesn't make sense, low key. If you start doing that on everything, then it just becomes a thing of like delaying your payments. I don't think we should be able to do that for anything except for like cars and giant payments. Colognes or like anything that's like under $500. This doesn't seem like effective, but
great. Interest-free. I can just sign up for these payments and then worry about paying it sometime later down the road. But it's not quite that simple. These buy now, pay later programs aren't necessarily groundbreaking financial technology. In fact, buy now, pay later programs are kind of a newer, modernized version of the old school layaway programs that you would see at stores like Kmart and Sears. These layaway programs allowed you to place a deposit on an item like a dishwasher, for example. And then the store would reserve that dishwasher for you to collect once you had paid off the dishwasher through their installment plan. But these layaway programs kind of fell off throughout much of the mid.
So you don't get the dishwasher till after, okay. Who even uses dishwashers in 2026? Is my family the only one that doesn't use them? Am I a one-off or is everyone else using dishwashers? Yo, my mom says that dishwashers don't work and we just use it as a storage area instead.
20th century, mainly due to the introduction of credit cards and revolving lines of credit. Instead of using a layaway program and waiting to collect their item, people could just swipe a credit card, get their item today, and then worry about paying off that over the next couple months or years. People realized that if they didn't pay their credit card down on time, they would end up owing more than they initially spent on the item. So along came the modern marvel that is buy now, pay later, which
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, credit cards that's kind of crazy, bro. If you use your credit card knowing you can't pay it off, you might just be the slowest person that's ever existed. Genuinely, bro, it's not that hard to keep track of. What is this?
you the best of both worlds. Get your product today, pay it off over a longer period of time, all while doing it interest-free. And that idea began hooking people in because buy now, pay later has seen some explosive growth over the last 5 years, going from $2 billion in transaction volume in 2019 to $24.2 billion in 2021. And it's projected to reach as high as 100.
Wait, chat, let's say you get like a dishwasher, for example, and you pay like $80 of the dishwasher up front and then you pay the rest every single month until it's paid off. What if you just get the dishwasher, pay the first $80, and then just never pay them again?
$122 billion in 2025. But this explosion wasn't just happening in a vacuum. It's actually part of three major cultural shifts that we've been seeing. First is the financialization of everything, meaning we've moved from a completely cash-based society to a society in which we look at even a $5 coffee as an opportunity to finance the transaction. Second, we have the rise of social media-driven consumption. As influencers showcase,
there's no way anyone's paying like $1 for the coffee and being like, oh, I'm gonna pay the $4 later. Like, what? I just don't see that existing.
Luxury lifestyle and products, buy now, pay later allows the average consumer the ability to experience those same things without actually incurring the cost today. And third, we have the post-pandemic spending boom, which has consumers using buy now, pay later as a form of revenge spending or buying things they feel like they missed out on during the pandemic. Combine all of that with a declining financial literacy among most young adults, and you have the perfect storm to make buy now, pay later explode as a new mentality. But why is this even a problem?
People that do this, bro, that do the buy now, pay later thing, knowing they won't be able to pay it later, or just like guessing that, oh, I'm gonna have enough money later on to pay for this. How do you even fall into that trap? You have to be really financially illiterate. For me, chat, I don't really value material things. I know I look like a material guy because of my clothes and stuff, like my damn like drip and like, you know, my designer clothing.
It reveals something about you or your shopping habits, and these companies have realized that that is very valuable information for other brands. So they actually harvest a lot of the data from your checkout pages and then sell it to other brands that can then use it in their marketing or in their ad target. And finally, they benefit from the sheer volume of loans being opened up by packaging.
Wait, so brands, when you buy something from them, they keep your data and send it to like what, sister companies or something so they can exploit you? It's a lot more deep than I thought, I'm not gonna lie. And there's always stuff going on behind the scenes. I feel like even in the government, bro, there's always stuff that you don't know.
And everybody else's debt together and selling it to larger financial institutions. They can make money even when you pay on time. In other words, they've created a system where they win no matter what happens to you financially. So now let's look at buying an iPhone for $1,000. When you reach the checkout page, you have three options. Number one, pay the full $1,000 up front. This is the simplest, cleanest, and easiest way to.
No one does that in 2026 unless you're rich. I ain't dropping a K. Me, chat, I pay like, I think it's like $50 per month for like 2 years, and then this gets paid off. Something for 2 years, like $30 or something for 2 years.
Scotch-free. Option two, you could use a credit card with the typical 22% APR to purchase the phone. And if you only made the minimum payments, you would end up paying about $1,480 over the course of 5 years, with $480 of that being the interest alone. And option number three is you could use Afterpay's 4-payment installment plan, where you pay $250 today and then $250 every 2 weeks until the plan is paid off. Which sounds like the best deal to you? You see, brands have mastered psychological manipulation throughout their website, but specifically on the last hurdle, which is the checkout page. And they do this through 4 key tricks. First, they exploit what psychologists call the pain of paying. By splitting the cost over a longer period of time, your brain actually registers less financial.
Not gonna lie, I went to the store one day and I was just feeling like really adventurous, and then I out of nowhere decided, oh, I want to buy a Nintendo Switch, and I spent $500 that one day without even a second thought. Genuinely, sometimes, man, money is just like a concept. It's not even real.
Financial pain than paying the full amount up front. Second, they trigger what is called the temporal discounting, which is our tendency to value immediate rewards more than future benefits, or otherwise known as instant gratification. Pay just $25 today and it's yours sounds a lot better than waiting and saving up for it. Third, they will create artificial urgency by simulating limited time offers in the checkout page. And finally, they use colors and shapes to direct your eye exactly where they.
I'm not gonna lie, some guy called my phone, and then the name of who called me, it was Telus, which is like a phone company, and he was trying to sell me a new deal they had on new phone plans. And he's like, if you sign on someone else, you only have to pay $20 for the second phone or something per month. And then I was like, but I don't really have anyone else I want to sign on, and I'm pretty happy with my plan right now. And then he's trying to sell it to me, and we go back and forth. And then at the end, he's like, how about I give you some time to think about it? I'll reconnect with you in a few days. And I'm like, sure. And I'm about to hang up. And then this guy, last second, he's like, wait 1 second. No, since I want to be nice, we usually do it when you make a new account, we give you an $80 fee, and I'm going to take that $80 off for you because you're a special customer. That's what he told me. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'll get back to you in a few days. And I hung up. And in my head, I'm realizing like, yo, he probably does that with everyone. It's probably just like a strategy in marketing where it's just like you say there's a deal that there actually isn't.
Have you ever noticed that the buy now, pay later button is often highlighted in a brighter color, and it's sometimes even pre-selected when you reach the checkout page? These aren't accidents. These are specific design decisions to short circuit your brain to making a financial decision more on an impulse than with rational thinking. Instead of thinking about a $100 purchase rationally and over a longer period of time, they'd rather have you
these damn companies are scammers
now and worry about it later on. And again, this isn't necessarily a bad deal because people are always looking for interest-free ways of purchasing things so that their money can go and earn them more money while they're paying off the other thing that they purchased. But to do so requires some financial education or experience. And sadly, most Americans are completely undereducated when it comes to finance.
I'm not gonna lie, it's the same thing for when there's these companies that want to sign you onto a monthly subscription. They're like, oh, the first month is free. So you're like, okay, I'll put my information in. I'll put my debit card in, and then we should be good for that free first month. But then a lot of the time you'll forget that you're even signed up for that. And then the next month will come, and then you don't cancel the subscription. And then the next thing you know, 10 months have passed and you've paid like 9 months worth of subscription that you don't even use.
Literacy. So the instant gratification syndrome kicks in and they buy practically everything with buy now, pay later. With no
Thank you,
real
Soccer.
concern
Appreciate
that they
you.
will in fact have to pay that off at some point. All they're worried about is the price that they will pay today, which is exactly how you end up with this.
I've done groceries. I've done all kinds of crap on Affirm and Klarna. But it adds up, and then you are in a chokehold. And in some ways, it is worse than having credit card payments. It's crazy.
Because buy now, pay later is so easy to do, people are starting to use it on more and more occasions where it's really not meant to be used. Instead of just using it on a big purchase like a new fridge or a TV, they're starting to use it on smaller things and truly financing items that have no business being financed.
Yo, I come to the damn front of the Walmart and I'm like, I come up with toilet paper and I'm like, I'm not trying to pay for all of it right now. I'm not in a good financial place. Can I pay $5 now and pay the rest later? Come on, man. This toilet paper is getting expensive.
That we recently saw is that Klarna is now on DoorDash, which allows you to finance your $15 burrito over 4 payments of $3.75 instead of paying the full $15 up front. Again, not a necessarily terrible thing when looked at in a vacuum, but when you expand this to consider that someone who's financing a burrito is also probably financing a lot of other things, that's when the real problem starts to arise.
That's crazy.
Bad spending habits like this.
No, putting it on food is actually next level chudness, genuinely. Yo, if you have to finance like a taco and you just need to get employed or something, I don't know. Like what? Just buy it. What is it, $8?
Much what it sounds like, taking out loan after loan after loan and stacking them on top of each other. And because buy now, pay later programs make it so easy to do so, most consumers don't even realize how much debt they're actually accruing. In fact, in 2022, 63% of buy now, pay later borrowers had more than one loan going at one time. And this is where it gets
They have loans going. They realize, oh man, I have to pay later. It catches up to them and like, oh, frick, this is part of the deal? I thought the buy now is all I had to do, but I have to do the pay later? Frick.
It's really scary. Because these programs are designed to offer credit with little to no approval process, it's almost like they're targeting people that don't know how to manage their money. All they see is, oh, I can buy this $1,000 thing for $250 today, and they just click buy. When in reality, over 69% of buy now, pay later users are already in debt on another credit card. And 28% of buy now, pay later borrowers are between the ages of 18 and 24 years old. Most of these people don't even understand the concept of how a credit card works, and by giving them this buy now, pay later option, it's almost like they have this unlimited stream of money that never needs to actually be paid off. Again, don't get me wrong, there are definitely some advantages to the system if you know how to play it, but the vast majority of people using the system are not taking advantage of it. They are just getting taken advantage of. So what do you do? As a consumer, should I completely stay away from buy now, pay later, or are there some circumstances where it makes sense? And to answer that question, the most important piece of advice I can give you is to never spend more than you currently have, whether that be through a credit card or a buy now.
I feel like that should be obvious if you have like, I don't know, more than 2 brain cells. Like personally, man, I'm very good with my money. I don't use it nearly as much as I should, to be honest. I feel like I should buy more stuff than I do. I don't even go to I need to buy new clothes, to be honest. I got no clothes is what I'm trying to say. I have literally nothing inside my wardrobe. So, you know, I feel like for me, it's not really an issue, but maybe someone that has more of like a expensive lifestyle, then this could be something they fall into. But for me, it's just never been a problem. Oz, if I have to pay you a credit card, why not get another one and pay off that credit card with the other credit card? I like the way you think. Hold on. Pay later option. If you don't have the cash in your bank, don't spend it. And that is by far the easiest way that you can keep yourself out of credit card debt. And if you feel confident in your financial abilities, feel free to use a credit card or a buy now, pay later option to earn more interest on your cash while it's sitting in your account versus just spending it immediately. But if you don't feel confident, no, I like that, bro. You want to know why? I actually do have $28.53 of cashback dollars because of using my credit card. So I'm kind of really building up that credit.
About this, treat your credit cards in a buy now, pay later program as if it's hooked directly up to your checking account. If you spend $100, that's $100 coming directly out of your account. Another tip I have is to avoid stacking these loans because that is where things can get very messy very quickly. If you start financing weekly expenses like gas, groceries, or that Friday night Chipotle bowl, it becomes a slippery slope because it is 100 times easier to get into debt than it is to get out of debt. But there you have it, the truth about buy now, pay later. These companies spend millions of dollars on psychological research to get you to spend more than you can actually afford. But now you know a little bit more about how to protect yourself.
Damn, I'm not gonna lie, if you fall for that, it's just a brain cell problem. I feel like personally not gonna be a problem for me though, because I don't even have any money to spend in the first place, so